Hello and welcome to our teeny car reconciliation for providing and on-the-job expenses. We'll be discussing terms, materials, and the Concur reconciliation process. Let's define providing / on-the-job expenses. This is when meals are provided to employees and or volunteers who do not have time to purchase their own meals because job responsibilities do not allow them breaks to do so, or when the department is required by HR to provide meals as part of compensation. The payment method is used via a professional employee T&E card in one bulk purchase. Note, if multiple purchases by multiple people are made, it proves that the employees or volunteers have time to purchase their own meals and does not qualify as providing. Here are the types of providing examples and their business purposes. For more business purpose guidelines, go onto Confluence through this link. Some examples include RAHA training meals, like breakfast or something for a specific training at a specific date. This can also include meals for volunteers, Triton Day, where staff is working the entire day, or orientation, where students and staff members are working the entire day to help their orientees. Let's move on to required materials. And so for different types of providing, different documentations are needed. For RAHAs, we'll need an itemized and charge receipt for purchases over $75, the training schedule, and the attendee list. For program volunteers, we'll also need the same items, but we'll need a volunteer work assignment instead of the training schedule. Triton Day, we'll need an itemized and charge receipt over $75, work assignments, as well as the attendee list. And for orientation, we'll need something similar, but a group assignment instead. Moving on to Concur. You can go here to learn more about how to log on to Concur. You can log on to Concur through this website here and select UCSD using your AD credentials. And then navigating to Concur, you can go to your profile, create an expense report in the top right, and then moving on to reconciliation. First, we'll create an expense report using the event expenses report type. And then we'll fill out the report name, event start date, event end date, event type, business purpose, as well as a financial unit. Please follow naming conventions for the report name. It'll be your initial, TC, providing, the three-letter acronym for month, the year, and your acronym for college. For example, it'll be RHTC providing Feb 26 Revel, REV. And then the event type will be on-the-job meals. Some of the most common expenditure types that you'll use are the food, dine-in, delivery, pickup, or the business meeting, non-food beverage supplies, as well as the list of meals / attendees. Now let's reconcile your expense. We'll move to the top right corner and click Add Expense, then select from available expenses and choose the T&E expenses that you would like to add to your report. P-card expenses cannot be added to an event expense report. Per policy, all expenses related to a providing event must be reconciled in the same report. This includes any personal purchases as well as T&E. Now, when we're reconciling this expense, we'll need to make sure that the expenditure type or the expense type is the business meeting food. Then for type of meal, you'll indicate the corresponding meal, and then on campus or off campus is needed. Then you'll add your attendees, put in your business purpose and your receipt. And then lastly, allocate. So here, this is where you put in your type of meal. It could be refreshments, lunch, dinner, breakfast, and your meal location. Is it on campus or off campus? Then you'll add in your business purpose here. You can go onto our Confluence for more details on our business purpose. The business purpose needs to answer the who, what, when, where, why, as well as talking about how this event benefits the university. Then you'll attach receipts if it's over $75. It needs to be itemized and charged and right side up. Please add any additional documents such as training schedules, volunteer assignments, work assignments, or group assignments to this receipt. And lastly, please redact personal identifiable information, including addresses and phone numbers and emails. Receipts are required for expenses over $75. And if you have a transaction under $75 for an event expense type of 536500, you will not be required to provide a receipt. However, you are required to list all items purchased in your business purpose. Now we'll attach the agenda to our meeting, and you can do this in different ways. You can put this in a list of meals / meeting attendees, or you can attach it to the same expense as your receipt. And then you'll allocate using the same COA. If any policy violations are made, please submit an IPPS policy exception ticket. Policy exceptions may or may not be granted depending on cardholder, warning / violation history. Please remember that multiple warnings and violations may result in losing card privileges. To submit for an IPPS exception, go to support.ucsd.edu, Budget and Finance, navigate to Get Help, and click the Submit a Ticket to Budget and Finance Support. Then you'll fill out the information of entertainment, meals and expense related to general entertainment policy, and more specifically, exception to policy. Then you'll put in your situation, your expense numbers, as well as your cardholder information. After receiving a response from IPPS, please add the ticket number to your business purpose with IPPSCS and then the ticket number to let us know that an exception has been granted. Next, we'll move on to reconciling the attendees. You can do this several ways. You can put in a head count and then attach your attendee list, or you can search and add specific members to the criterias through student or faculty and staff. This is how you can add an attendee list. You'll go on to add expense, manually create expense, and then search up list of meals. Then you can add a little comment about what it relates to, update the transaction date, and put in your attendee list here. Next, we'll move on to allocating COAs. We'll select the corresponding expenses that we would like to allocate, and then in the top right, we'll click Allocate, and then Add, and we'll input our expenses. We'll input our COA. For COAs, these are the things that are required: the financial unit, the approver, project, task, and the most important part is fund. Although it's not required, it is required by our department. This is another example of what it will look like. Your financial unit approver will be Rachel Harrington. You can also split your expenses between different COAs by adding multiple allocations, and then you can split by percent or amount. And then this is a little bit more about our approvers, but your approvers will go, your report will go through supervisor approval and then financial unit, and in some cases to special entertainment, and then I'll reach IPPS. Your fiscal coordinator ensures that the report has been completed with no errors. The financial unit approver will approve the use of COAs within the budget of context and confirms if expenses are allowed within policy. And then finally, IPPS will review before a report is processed to the ledger. Each approver may return the report to you for more information at any point. To avoid this, submit your expenses with as much information and context as you can provide. This is what it can look like to have a report sent back. You'll receive an email and you'll see on Concur. It'll have a comment and a message for edits. You can also look at the report timeline to see why the report was sent back. To review any report approval queue, go to the history of comments on any report, good for closed reports, and reports submitted for approvals. Additionally, you might have an error relating to COA POTAF errors. This is because it is validated against data in Oracle through external validation. This might be due to the fact that the chart string was not filled out completely, or the chart string had an acceptable chart string. For example, funds and functions cannot be used in the same chart string. If there is an error, Concur will send it back. And if a COA failed validation, it means that something is in your COA is incorrect and you need to fix. If it is a POTAF failed validation, it means that the issue is located in the project, expenditure type, task, or funding source. If the error message contains OP anywhere, this means that UCOP chart string values has been used, and we currently share an instance of Concur with the Office of Presidents. For more information on how to fix these errors and resolve them, please visit this KBA. Next, we'll talk about report submissions. Reports are due every 25th of the month. It is due earlier, the business day prior, if the 25th falls on a weekend or a holiday. For example, if the 25th falls on a Saturday, it's due on the 24th each month. You need to submit all your receipts for the month by the 25th, and you have 30 days to do so. Starting in July 1st of 2026, IPPS will begin reporting to IRS any T&E card expenses that are not reconciled within 60 days after the travel or event date. Failure to reconcile and submit expenses within 60 days will result in the expenses being recorded as taxable income to you. To avoid having this tax implication, please submit all your reports and expenses before 60 days. Here are some resources that you can use to help you with reconciling your T&E card expenses. IPPS office hours are every Mondays at 1 p.m. We have UCBO office hours every Tuesdays at 1 p.m. And IPPS office hours for T&E card and P card are also on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. And UCBO also has general office hours on Fridays, 9 a.m. Some other useful links that you can use are our YouTube channel for more information and how-tos. You can use an Ask Fiscal ticket to submit a question. You can use our Confluence for more resources, KBAs, or our infographics and UC Learning. Thank you.